Hey gang,
Hi everyone.
we were going to do a live stream this weekend, but unfortunately due to technical difficulties, YouTube's very buggy, we couldn't make it happen, so we're doing this little update instead. And it's funny, instead of fixing these little problems, these little bugs on YouTube, they had to change the comments section, which worked perfectly before, and force everyone to hook up with a Google Plus account, which, by the way, I still haven't linked my YouTube account to a Google Plus, so I haven't been able to respond to you guys' comments on my videos, and I'm sorry. I'll bite the bullet soon, and I will hook up to a Google Plus account. What do you think of Google Plus?
Google Plus sucks.
Well, moving on, what did we do this weekend?
Last weekend, Travis Scott was awarded with the Grandmaster title by World Integrated Martial Arts.
Yes, and here's the proof, my certificate. I am now Grandmaster Craft.
Grandmaster Craft was also awarded with Ambassador of Goodwill, plus a medal.
Yes, I got some nice hardware this weekend, and it was a great honor, so I'm very happy of that. I'm thrilled with the new title, and I'll try and live up to the honor.
So am I gonna call you Grandmaster from now on?
Of course, you have to, that's my title.
Okay.
But moving on, let's talk about movies. This weekend I saw someone posted a link from some website on Facebook about an article, and the article was called 10 Horrible Marvel Movies Before They Took Over the World. And the first movie on this list was 1989's The Punisher, and the first thing the guy says about the movie is Dolph Lundgren's the first to don the skull t-shirt. Well, if you've watched the movie or have even read anything about the movie, you would know that Dolph Lundgren doesn't actually wear a skull shirt in the movie, which tells you that the guy that wrote the article about these movies he's calling horrible, he hasn't even seen these films. It shows you how cynical Americans can be about movies, and they like to pick them apart, any little fault they can find. They like to find fault with these things as if they're getting a reward and go on the internet and write about it. And that's kind of why I'm very reserved in some reasons about my movie being shown in America, just because I know that American attitude, whereas Filipinos go to the movie and it's like, did I like the movie or did I not? They just go to enjoy it, which is a much better attitude to go to when you watch a movie. And speaking of my movie, what's going on with that?
Yes, Travis's movie, Ang Turkey Manay Paborin, is going to be shown nationwide.
Nationwide. So if you're in the Visayas or Mindanao, is it showing in Mindanao?
Yes, Luzon,
Other parts
Visayas,
of Luzon.
Mindanao, in all Ayala malls. It will be shown from December 18 to 24. So if you missed Ang Turkey Manay Paborin, you should go watch it. Why?
And it's really great because it played in theaters before as part of the Cine Filipino Film Festival. It played as special screenings at a couple colleges, and I was just overwhelmed by the positive reaction from both audiences and critics. We even went to a sold-out showing at Gateway Mall.
There were actually not only one.
Well, there was a few sold-out shows,
Yeah.
but we went to one that was sold out at Gateway. And it was amazing to see the audience reaction and how crazy they were going and how many laughs it was getting.
Exactly.
That really blew my mind. I couldn't have possibly expected that, and I'm very grateful. And what's even on top of that, critics gave it really awesome reviews. I couldn't believe that someone said it was one of the best reviewed films of the year, and they're probably right. And I wouldn't have expected that, especially coming from American culture, where especially with comedies, critics don't generally like them. And comedy is very easy to find faults with if you want to nitpick on things. But the critics really got behind it, and I'm just blown away by that.
Some said Ang Turkey Manay Paborin is one of the top 10 best films of 2013 in the Philippines. Diba?
Hindi ko naniniwala. That's really fantastic. I can't believe it.
It's there.
Like I said, I didn't have any expectations with this, but it was just overwhelming to see that response. But the question that a lot of people have is, what is my next movie going to be? What's my next move? Well, I just had an interview for a movie they'll be shooting this next year, and It's about a historical event. I have to be kind of vague with this, I'm sorry guys, because of confidentiality I can't get into specifics, but it's about a historical event in the Philippines, a very old one. And the thing about this movie is I haven't read the script yet, so I can't really say how it's going to be. It's from a director that I'm told is very acclaimed and very respected. That's what I'm told. I don't know him, and that doesn't mean anything because I don't really know a lot about the movie industry here other than the people that I've already worked with. So I had the interview about it, and this is about a particular historical event involving the United States of America. And of course, I'm being considered for one of the roles as an American. And the thing about this is, I have a feeling that they're going to present Americans in a very bad light in this, which is very odd because America right now, they're helping out. They have the Marines helping out in the Visayas, helping out the typhoon victims. And the United States has always had a very close relationship for over 100 years now. Has had such a close relationship and given financial aid to the Philippines. And Filipinos generally love American culture and they love American people. I think the Philippines might actually be the most pro-America country in the entire world. They really love Americans here and want to get to know Americans. And there's a lot of Filipinos that move to America and benefit from living there. So it's kind of odd. And like I said, I haven't read the script, so I don't know the exact thing. It's kind of odd to make a movie and present Americans as the bad guy. Who's helping out in Leyte right now? Well, according to reports, the Philippine government's there, of course, and they're doing something, but they're criticized for not doing near enough. But you got the American Marines and people from other countries, by the way. Israelis are there and opened up a hospital. But America's there giving financial support, and they got boots on the ground helping out. So to make Americans look bad is silly, and that's the feeling I get. Like I said, I haven't read the script, and if they're doing a historically accurate movie that just tells the account of it in a very truthful way, I think that would be fantastic in this event. And I think a lot of people, maybe if they know Filipino history, they know the particular event I'm talking about. But as I was leaving the interview on my way out, one of the things the guy conducting the interview asked me was, by the way, would you be okay with us shooting a scene where you rape Filipino women? And that caught me off guard, because it's not every day I get asked a question like that. In fact, I've never been asked that question. My response was, no, I don't think I'd be okay with that. But I wanted to say, are you kidding me? If anyone's going to be trying to rape anyone, it's going to be Filipino women trying to rape me. So that's part of the reason I think that they're going to show Americans in a bad light if they want to show scenes of Americans raping Filipino women. And by the way, those are incidents that I don't even think are confirmed in history. Those are things that are potentially rumors that they started to try and get Filipinos against Americans and to fight against Americans. I don't know if there's any actual confirmation, and some of that's kind of hard to prove. But another thing about it is this just seems like a dark theme, and especially if you want to make a propaganda film where Americans are the bad guys, why would you want to do that? Especially when America and the Philippines have such good relationships. Filipino people and American people have good relationships with each other. Why try and trudge up an old event and try and put a certain slant on it that makes a group of people look bad, especially when the people that they're making look bad, I consider the heroes. And I think a lot of Filipino people, not all, wouldn't have a problem with that. Have a problem with Americans being considered the heroes even in that particular historical altercation. And like I said, I'm trying to be vague, but I'm sure people know what I'm talking about. So I will not be raping any Filipino women in any movies. I will not be raping anyone in any movies. And some people might say, well, that's not being an actor. But when I was dreaming about being an actor growing up, I was never thinking, oh, I want to be an actor so I can do a movie where I rape women. No, that's not what I want to do. And it's not that I'm opposed to being a bad guy. I would love to be a bad guy, but I'd like it to be a very good role and something I could really sink my teeth in. And even in this, I wouldn't be opposed to them showing some Americans as bad people, because definitely there are Americans that are bad people. But I don't want to be just one-sided, black and white. These guys are the good guys, the Americans are the bad guys. That's not something I'm interested in doing.
Oh, who knows, there's an American character that does not rape anyone, so...
I hope that most of the American characters aren't raping anyone.
You know, well, that movie apparently is very opposite to Ang Turkey Manay Pabo, where you're a very sensitive American husband to a Filipina, so we'll see.
I just made a movie where an American character is a very good guy, a very noble guy, and it'd be kind of weird to go from that to villainizing an American guy. But what do we have next?
Next, we'll be taping a cooking segment for GMA News TV.
Yes, years ago, I offered to be a guest on a cooking show that GMA had. They didn't have me on, so I went and did my own adobo video, which became world famous, and now GMA Network's calling us all the time, asking me to do cooking segments on their shows. So it's funny how things work out, but that's coming up, and I'll also have some videos coming up for you guys, as usual, so stay tuned, and thanks for watching.